Hi all, welcome back to week 3 of the Water Safety at Home program. This week we'll be going through life jackets and aquatic entries and exits. I hope you enjoy. Life jackets are also known as PFDs or personal flotation devices. The main purpose of a life jacket is to keep you buoyant in the water and to keep your mouth and nose above the water to allow you to breathe. This is extremely important if you find yourself or someone else in the water unconscious. The 2016 National Boating and Watercraft Drowning Deaths showed a 10-year analysis of which 92% of those that drowned weren't wearing a life jacket. 91.8% were men aged between 35 and 44 years old. 28.8% were found to be wearing a life jacket that was not suitable, worn incorrectly, wearing an inflatable type that didn't inflate. This is why it is so important to wear a life jacket suitable to your size and weight and kept up with the regular maintenance schedule. Some activities where we could wear a life jacket are sailing, fishing, kayaking, jet skiing, speedboating and kite surfing. Life jacket type 1 or level 100 is the minimum requirement for open water use. One of the key features of this life jacket is the collar that keeps the wearer's head out of the water if unconscious. They are made in safety colours of red, yellow or orange with reflective patches. You might wear one of these life jackets if you're out on a boat in the bay. You can also purchase these as inflatable life jackets. Type 2 or level 50 life jackets are designed to keep a conscious person afloat. They are designed for use in sheltered areas where help is close by. These life jackets are still made with the same red, yellow and orange safety colours as type 1, however only have flotation panels on the front and back which make them less restrictive to wear than type 1 life jackets. Type 3 or level 50S life jackets don't meet the Australian Standards Association colour standards as they aren't made in the yellow, red or orange safety colours. These life jackets are designed to be less restrictive for high speed water sports such as water skiing and using personal watercrafts such as jet skis. Some life jackets might come with whistles to signal for help. Type 1 life jackets will come with reflective panels, clips and buckles to help tighten a life jacket if needed, a zip to make sure the life jacket is secured properly, and a collar to help keep the airways above the water if found unconscious. To correctly fit a life jacket, you need to make sure that the life jacket is suitable for your body size and shape. Firstly, you should zip up the zipper with a small amount of resistance, buckle the clips together and tighten the strap. Once completed, the life jacket shouldn't be so tight that it restricts your breathing, but should be tight enough it doesn't slip off over your head. If it is too loose, you will need to find a smaller size as it will slip off over your head once you enter the water. If it is too tight, you will need to find a bigger size as it won't be able to support your weight once you enter the water. As you can see from this video, this life jacket is too small as I can barely fit it around my shoulders and I'm unable to zip up the zipper. When I enter the water, this life jacket can barely support my weight. This life jacket that I'm about to put on looks like it's going to be too big. It quite easily wraps around my body, which means it won't fit snug once the zip has been done up. As you can see with this life jacket, it is too big. When I enter the water, it slips up over my head, which would make it quite difficult for me to breathe. The life jacket that I'm about to try on now looks like it's the correct size. It doesn't wrap around my body, I can do up the zip with some resistance, and I can use the clips to help tighten it a little bit more to help fit snug around my body. As you can see, when I go in the water, the life jacket doesn't slip over my head, and the collar helps to keep my head and airways above the water so I can breathe properly. Now we are going to go through safe entries and the various ways you can enter the water safely. A safe entry limits the likelihood of injury or drowning. This is why, when we enter a new body of water that we haven't experienced before, we don't jump right in. We scan the area and look for key indicators such as signage, water depth, water clarity, objects in and around the water, and the terrain to look out for safe exit points if needed. When possible, a wade entry is the best way to enter an unknown body of water. You enter the water by walking slowly, which enables you to feel around with your feet for any objects below the surface of the water, until you reach a depth where you feel comfortable to start swimming. You would use a sliding entry if you didn't know the depth of the water or what was underneath the surface. This allows you to feel around with your feet for any obstacles. It also allows for a controlled entry into the water. To perform a sliding entry, sit down with your legs over the edge in the water. Use your hands to grip hold of the edge while you lower yourself into the water. A compact jump is an entry from a height greater than 1 meter into known deep water. To perform a compact jump, place both hands across the body with one hand over the mouth and nose. Step off with one leading foot. Bring both legs together and keep them and your body straight as you enter the water. A stride jump is used when entering water known to be deep and free of obstacles from a low edge or bank. This entry allows a rescuer to keep watching a person in difficulty as you can keep your head above the water. To perform this jump, put your hands out in front of you in a V shape with one leg planted on the ground, the other leg bent at 90 degrees. Look up and lean forward, don't jump. Spread both legs and keep them bent. Slap your hands towards the water when you enter. This will help create some resistance to keep your head above the water. An accidental fall occurs when you fall into the water unexpectedly. Tuck your chin into your chest, place hands over your head to protect the face, press elbows into the chest and bring your knees towards your chest. Carefully assessing the area to locate the safest place to exit can be an extremely important skill to have. Wading, walking up steps, climbing up ladders and pulling or lifting yourself out of the water are all examples of exiting the water. Some are harder than others, so you have to understand your own limitations when finding a suitable exit point. We're now going to go through some activities to see how well you remembered everything we've gone through today. Question 1. Which would be the most suitable safe entry to use looking at the picture below? A. A wade entry. B. A stride jump. C. A compact jump. Or D. A slide-in entry. A small hint would be that the water is quite murky, so you might not know what's underneath the surface of the water. If you answered A. A wade entry, you would be correct. You would use this entry because you don't know how deep the water is, nor do you know if there are any large rocks or tree branches that could injure you if you do decide to jump in. Question 2. Which would be the most suitable safe entry to use looking at the picture below? Would it be A. A wade entry, B. A stride jump, C. A compact jump, or D. A sliding entry? If you answered D. Sliding entry, you would be correct. Even though you can see the bottom of the pool, it might be quite shallow, and if you were to jump, you might hurt yourself. Question 3. If you knew the depth of the pool was around 2 meters at the deep end and wanted to jump in but didn't want to get your hair wet, which entry would you use? A. A wade entry, B. A stride jump, C. A compact jump, or D. A sliding entry? If you answered B. A stride jump, you'd be correct. Well done to everyone that joined us this week. Next week we will be going through rescues and survival strokes. I hope you can all join us next week. Goodbye.